Hi everyone, Mark Dinglassen here, food security advocate for the state of New Jersey. We decided at the office, actually, our Marcom manager, Jamel, had this crazy idea of highlighting local and hyper-local initiatives that we can all take inspiration from that are working very hard to provide access to fresh, healthy food to those that need it. So today we're in Atlantic City with Lisa. Introduce yourself, Lisa.
Thanks for coming. We're very happy to have you. I'm Lisa Newcomb. I'm the executive director for C.R.O.P.S, which is Communities Revolutionizing Open Public Spaces. We're a nonprofit organization here in Atlantic County, and we do a lot of our work here in Atlantic City. We're focused on eliminating food insecurity at the community level with cross-sector partners.
Lisa and I are not squinting because we're angry to be here. We're squinting because the beautiful Atlantic City sun is shining down on us, and we're going to go check out C.R.O.P.'s new upcoming food hub. Let's check it out. We are now inside C.R.O.P.'s new food hub. Lisa, why don't you walk us through what we're looking at? Tell us all about it.
Sure. So it's not officially open yet, but you can see our row of refrigerators over here. And then on this side, we've got our hydroponic systems for our UCAN farmer training program. So
awesome.
The basis or the purpose of the food hub is to have a space where we're able to aggregate food from regional farmer partners across the county, and specifically also the farmers that we have in training here in Atlantic City as well. So we're training 5 farmers here in Atlantic City. They're residents of Atlantic City to become urban farmers, and they're training both traditionally in outdoor growing, but also hydroponically and indoor growing as well.
And about how many farms would be able to aggregate their food in this space, would you say?
I mean, it's probably, like 10, 20, something like that. It really depends on the number of places that we're going. Like, we have enough storage space that we can bring in food on a everyday basis or an every couple of day basis. And we've got enough partners in the city that we're working with that we can move that food relatively quickly. So that's why we started the food hub here, is because we wanted to have a space that was actually located in a food desert community where an influx of fresh, healthy food was being brought, but in a way that was also supporting our farmers that are in this county and in this region. And I think that's what we've identified over the last 8 to 9 years of doing this work, is that's really what we need to focus on, is an investment in the infrastructure of the pathway between the producers in our state and the communities that need access to that food.
Why don't you walk us through these very, very cool units that we're looking at over here?
So these are actually the same hydroponics units that a lot of schools in the state of New Jersey have. So they're high producing.
So they're not tanning beds, is what you're saying?
No, they're not.
I wanted to work on my.
We do talk about putting, just kind of like a little chamber, like, it's very relaxing. The sound is very nice.
I know, I'm going to fall asleep talking to you right now.
So you can hear the water trickling. But so through a partnership with the Casino Reinvestment and Development Authority, we have a partnership with them where we're developing a training program for farmers in Atlantic City, urban farmers. And then the other half of that work is connecting them with buyers across the city. So the school systems, the corner stores, the restaurants, hopefully the casinos eventually, and Atlantic Care, especially because they have their new mobile grocery bus that's coming, and they're going to need fresh produce for that. So this is one of the locations that we have where the farmers have growing space, and this is their hydroponic growing space. So you can actually look inside. Erica is our food production coordinator, so she does all of the training for the UCAN farmers.
Love it. So what you see over here is our hydroponic system that our participant Ronnie just planted today. So these were planted on June 6th, and they stay in their seedling trays for about a week. And then after that week, they'll go into the hydroponic systems. And these are basil all along this side and green star lettuce on this side. So these will all be produced for local grocery stores and hopefully some local restaurants too. We're really excited.
And how many community partners do you have that would be able to take advantage of this hub?
So we have a lot of community partnerships, and they're sort of like different categories. We've got like our consumer, partners that would be buying produce from a local farmer or from one of the farmers in the city. And we work with a couple of like community-based organizations as well, where we're doing workshops like around nutrition education, but then also trying to pair it with the availability of like a farm share box program that we've put together, and we're actually partnering with Atlantic Care on, which is great. And then we have our like larger partners too, our funders, but then like our city-based partners, and then our county-based partners that we've been working on with the coalition. We run, we co-facilitate along with somebody at the city's planning and development department, as well as somebody at the Forsyth Refuge and the Fish and Wildlife Services. We run the Green Coalition of Atlantic City. So we meet on a monthly basis. Every Thursday we meet, and every third Thursday of the month, monthly, we meet. And we've, kind of convened around both food security, but also like conservation of the unused spaces around the city, public access to public spaces and beautifying the city. And then, worrying about conservation of like pollinator habitats and things like that. So we've got those partners. We work with Atlantic City Youth Services, Atlantic City Senior Services, and then a variety of other nonprofit organizations, like I said, that we bring into this space. And then I would also be very remiss if I didn't mention the fact that we wouldn't have this space without a funding partner called Thrive AC. So it's a family foundation, but it's run through the Community Foundation of Southern New Jersey. So I would like to point that out, because if there's people looking to do things locally, sometimes it's hard to find, like a funding source that's local, that understands the landscape that you're working in. And so the Community Foundation of New Jersey and the Community Foundation of Southern New Jersey have been extremely helpful to us.
And it's important to call out our philanthropic partners that want to co-create and collaborate with us, right? So
and this space feeds right into a couple of other partnerships that we have. It was recently announced that we got funding through the NJFSI, through FRAC and Robert Wood Johnson. So that's the partnership where we'll be tied to Atlantic Care for a year, and we're gonna be kind of converging some of our programming and some of their programming, and this space will be the landing base for the food for that program. So it's very important that we have this space and we have it for 3 years, because it actually gives us some sustainability to the programming and the ability to really build out those partnerships. And of course, our farmers.
Building out a food hub, incredibly difficult. Creating partnerships where people see each other and truly want to collaborate and convene, incredibly difficult. Mm-hmm. Why do it?
I'm born and raised in Atlantic County, so this is my home. And it's very important to me that the resources that we have don't go away. We don't want to see our farmers. We have older farmers in New Jersey, and then, they want to retire, and there's nobody that wants to pick up where they left off. And a lot of times we see that winds up meaning that they sell their farms. Their really big farms get parceled off into little tiny pieces that go to developers, or they go to warehouses. And it's we're the Garden State. If we want to remain that way in perpetuity, it's really up to us. It's the same sort of relationship that I think people have with like civic organizations and behaving as, a citizen. Things are only ever going to be as strong as the people living in them, supporting them. And that's the same thing with agriculture. I think, we've got a real responsibility to support it. And if we want to see our planet remain healthy, we've got a real responsibility to support healthy agriculture. And we can't agriculture in New Jersey isn't going to survive if we've got farmers that can't afford to pay their bills. And I think we have an opportunity here where the other flip side of the coin is we've got communities that also are not going to survive if they can't get access to healthy food. Mm-hmm. And kids need access to healthy food. We talk about chronic disease rates and the relationship between health equity and food. This is the second largest food desert community in the state. And so I think there's just a real opportunity to pair those two things together as a way to support our farmers, but also as a way to support the health of the community. And I would say also probably this.
Right? Yeah.
I've got another baby on the way, and I really want things to look different in 20 years or 30 years or 40 years, or after all of us aren't here anymore.
I'm really glad you mentioned that. As a fairly new dad, I think I want to do better because I want my kid to see something better, right? So Thank you for a very short conversation filled with mic drops. So I appreciate you, your team at C.R.O.P.S. High five.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you to everybody for watching. If you yourself are running a local or hyper-local initiative that you want us to learn about, learn more about, if you want us to come out and visit, hop on OFSA's website, nj.gov/food security, find that contact us link, and give us a shout. We would love to meet you. Thanks, everybody.